Hey bro, man am I glad to see you here today. I hope you're doing well and I hope you're crushing it. Speaking of crushing it, I want to talk to you about accountability today. Let me ask you something and be 100% honest with me. How often do you do what you said you were going to do? And I don't only mean when it's convenient. I mean when shit hits the fan, you got 100 things to do and you have to deliver on something you promised you said you would. Do you do it? Look, maybe you can't admit it out loud, but there's only so much you can bullshit yourself. You can lie to me, you can lie to God, but you really can't bullshit yourself. At the end of the day, you know whether you did what you said you were gonna do or not. I wanna quote one of my teammates, Ollie, here for a second. He said something on a call that really hit me hard. He said,
It all comes out in the wash, right?
"It all comes out in the wash, right?" After he said that, I had to message him to ask what he meant by that. And this is what he said. I discovered recently that the phrase, "it all comes out in the wash," has two meanings, but the most common one is the idea that everything will be all right in the end. The way I've been using it has been referring to the fact that the truth will be known eventually, no matter what. I agree with him. Bullshitting yourself, lying to other people, and not keeping your word is like a juggling act. It always comes crashing down. The truth will be known eventually, no matter what. It's calming and reassuring to know that. I do my best to keep my word, but obviously there are times when I can't. But those times are very rare. The exception is not the rule. This reminds me of something Shane said a while back.
I don't judge people by their words. I judge people by their actions. And here's why, because I've just noticed that whatever words someone says today will be buried in their actions over time anyway. This is one of the reasons why I generally am not really interested in like excuses or explanations or anything like that. Obviously things go wrong, and that's fine. And I'm actually not interested in like hearing a story about why something went wrong. Unless it's a story about how we can make sure it doesn't go wrong again, right? Unless it's in the service of let's figure out what to fix. What I mean by that is, let's say someone is late to an appointment. It's just a very simple example. Usually people have the impulse of giving an explanation of here's why I'm late today. And I'm not interested in that. Because over time, whether you were late today, but over time it won't matter. If you are the kind of person who is generally not late, if you're the kind of person who's generally punctual, and over time everybody will know and figure out that they can rely on you to arrive on time. And so then it doesn't matter whether you told us a story about why you were late today or not. And if you're someone who's generally not punctual, if you have the habit of being late, then over time, everybody will realize that you're late. And whatever story you tell every time, it just doesn't matter. You can tell a story every time that justifies why you're late, but it just doesn't matter. That's what I mean by over time, your words will be buried in your actions. And I also try to do that for myself. Of course, I make mistakes, but over time, like the proof is going to be in the pudding of whether I can actually deliver and whether I'm actually reliable. Don't judge people by their words, basically.
My favorite thing that Shane said in that clip is, over time, your words will get buried by your actions. And it's the truth. You're the only one who cares for your stories. So if you're someone who makes excuses and always has reasons for why something wasn't done, just know that the rest of us don't really give a shit about your stories and would prefer it if you would cut the bullshit.
Over time, your words will be buried in your actions.